G'day, I'm Brendan Maher. I've been in the transport sector since about 1992. Been started off with one small truck as an owner-operator, built up. We peaked at 10 trucks when it was a little bit insane, and then we've sort of moved back a bit to just have an easier lifestyle. We've started up with cart grain throughout Victoria, South Australia, Western Australia, well pretty well all over Australia except for the Northern Territory we haven't been to yet, but I'm not saying we won't go there. And we cart all sorts of different things, like where we specialise in is working with traders to make a job work with using another product to come back. So the trucks are loaded more than 50% of the time. We aim at keeping the trucks loaded at 80 to 85% of the time and work from there. When I first became in A-doubles, looking into A-doubles in 2016, trying to find a vehicle that could operate as an A-double, which technically is a road train in the old sense, that could run pretty well all through Victoria to increase our efficiencies. I think it was the first one that got going that could run as a B-double, then switch into an A-double, we did that for a start because at the start, as you can understand, it was very cumbersome trying to get permits. So the first year we had it going, I think we used it 25% as an A-double, 75% as a B-double, then that increased to probably 60% as an A-double. Then after that, we never used it as a B-double after that. The first one was, can it be done? And how can we make this work with a B-double to get into it? Because as everyone knows, it doesn't happen overnight, so you get permits and you've got to get into it and that sort of things. So we worked it out so it would work with the axle spacings, with the trailer manufacturers. We've had plenty of three-way conversations with several trailer manufacturers to get it to work, and they've been very helpful and very receptive to the ideas we've had. You've got to get three things working right when you're building a trailer. You've got to make sure it works with the networks that you're going to be travelling on the best, and not one reference vehicle will work with every application. It's got to be good for the operator, and it's got to be good for the efficiency and keeping the cost down as well. And between us, we've gone through and been able to tick each one of those boxes off as we go. Well, for a start, when we first started, we were doing the permits ourselves, and we found that was taking up a lot of time and not being our primary thing. We ended up going to BTT to help us with, number one, they did our design approvals, so then they started doing our permits because they're doing it every day. So we went back to the theory, we'll run trucks, let them do keep the bureaucrats happy, and to go through that, and we found it more efficient doing it that way. And on top of that is when we rang up before would put in for a permit, they could tell us, yes, you'll get that permit. No, we got one knocked back last week for that with a very similar vehicle to yours. Do you want to spend that money putting in for it? A-doubles, they run at 85.5 tonne gross, which has given us about 58 tonne payload. With the efficiencies of it, it's costing us an extra 19 cents a kilometre to run those over a B-double, but we're making about $1.03, $1.04 per kilometre profit. So it's definitely viable. It's about 80 cents clear profit doing that, if we're doing 180,000 k's a year. They do our chain of responsibility, which a lot of time I try and tell myself that it's a waste of time. It seems to be, we don't need to do this. It's all the chain of responsibility is just bureaucrats. But when it comes down to it, if you have a bad accident, that's what you need that on your side. You need to be able to knock all that stuff on the head straight away. So if you've got that documented, they generally don't go any further. BTT, easy to get in contact with it, easy to get an answer, rather than go to 10 different people trying to find out, I'll just pass you onto this and you do the merry-go-round, which I'm sure we've all been done. Everyone watching this will have added that into them. You can just ring up yourself or Sharon and or Eddie, and you can get the answer you want. It might not always be the answer you want to hear, but it's what it is. so you can make a decision and move forward.